There's a moment every person who's ever used a computer has felt. The moment you wanted it to just understand you. No menus, no manuals, no clicking through 6 screens to do one simple thing. Just tell it what you want and it does it. That moment is coming, and the people who get there first aren't the ones who build it. They're the ones who back it. For 70 years, computing has asked people to adapt to machines, learn the software, learn the interface, learn the workaround. ExoBrain reverses that. It's not another app, another upgrade, another thing to learn. It's a different kind of computer entirely. One built to be spoken to the way you'd speak to a person you trust. That single shift from learning the machine to the machine learning you is the kind of change that only comes along once or twice in a lifetime. The car, the telephone, the personal computer, the smartphone, and now this. Every one of those shifts created 2 kinds of people. The ones who watched it happen and the ones who were already standing inside it when it did. This is where you decide which one you're going to be. ExoTech is opening the doors, before launch, before the world even knows what's coming, to a small number of people who want to be inside this from the ground floor. Not as employees, not as customers, as partners. There are 2 ways in, and they work beautifully together. The first is the National Marketing Exo license. Here's what it actually means, in plain terms. You become the person, or the company, responsible for making ExoBrain known, trusted, and wanted across a territory of your own, or across an entire industry like hotels or accounting software worldwide. Not selling it, not invoicing it, not delivering it, not supporting it, marketing it. You open doors, you build relationships, you get the retailers, the mobile carriers, the local and international businesses talking about ExoBrain before their competitors even know it exists. And in exchange, for as long as the territory or area keeps using ExoBrain, you get paid. 10% every month of everything ExoTech earns from every user in your territory or area. Not for a year, not until a quota is hit and then it tapers off. For as long as the customer pays, you get paid. Someone signs up today and stays a customer for 30 years, you're still earning from that decision 3 decades from now. That's not a sales job, that's an asset. One you build once and it keeps paying you back year after year, the way real wealth is actually built. And because every ExoBrain user can bring in new users of their own, friends, family, their own network, your territory doesn't grow because you're pushing harder. It grows because it spreads on its own. You're not chasing the wave, you're standing where the wave is going to break. The second way in is different, and for many people even more compelling. It's called a Local Marketing Exo License, an LME. Here's the idea, and it's a simple one. When you invest in ExoTech, you don't just receive shares, you receive people. Literally. The population nearest to you where you live becomes your license. Not a territory you have to go build, not a market you have to go find. It's already yours, centered on your own address, waiting. And just like the National Marketing Exo License, you too earn 10% in perpetuity of everything ExoTech receives from the people in that population. You don't have to market it, you don't have to manage it, you don't have to do anything at all if you don't want to. Or if you want to actively grow it, you can. Promote it, build it, make it flourish. The choice is entirely yours. Either way, once it's yours, it's yours. It can be taken, it can be moved. And it was never available to anyone before you claimed it, because an LME, once claimed, belongs to one owner. This is what makes it different from almost any opportunity you've ever been offered. You're not just buying a piece of paper and hoping the value goes up someday. You're being handed an income stream tied to real people, starting the moment ExoBrain sales begin. Here's what makes this moment rare. These 2 opportunities aren't competing with each other, they compound. They help one another. A National Marketing Exo Licensee building a territory, a Local Marketing Exo Licensee earning from the people nearest to them, but moving in the same direction, both benefiting from the same launch, the same momentum, the same technology reaching the same world. You don't have to choose one path and wonder about the other. You can be part of both. And then there's a third layer to this. ExoTech calls it ECIAR. Every customer is a reseller. Every message an ExoBrain user sends carries an invitation with it. If the person who receives it tries ExoBrain and later decides to pay for it, the person who sent that message earns 10%, for as long as that customer keeps paying. No cap, no end date. So look at what's actually happening here. 10% to the person marketing the territory. 10% to the person holding the license where that customer lives. 10% to whoever brought them in personally. 3 separate income streams, all paid from the same sale. All running at once for as long as that customer stays. There's a reason this matters right now, and not in a year, and not after launch. Right now, before ExoBrain has touched a single mainstream headline, nearly all territories are still open. The nearest available population to your address probably hasn't been claimed by someone else yet. Once ExoTech launches in 220 countries simultaneously, backed by a global campaign reaching well over 1.5 billion people, that changes. Every day between now and then, the map fills in a little more. The people who get in now aren't gambling on an idea. They're claiming a position, while there's still a position left to claim. Every innovation follows the same curve. A small number of people move first. They're the ones who see it before it's obvious. Then the early adopters follow. Then the majority, once it's already proven, already everywhere, already too late to get in at the ground floor. The question was never whether ExoBrain succeeds. The question is only, were you in the room when it did? This isn't for everyone, and honestly, it shouldn't be. We're looking for people who've built something before, who understand business, who understand what it takes to represent something well. People who care about doing right by the people in their care, because that's woven into everything ExoTech stands for. People we can trust with something this early and this important. If that's you, the door is genuinely open. Somewhere, right now, there's a version of this story already written. In it, ExoBrain has launched. It's in hundreds of millions of hands. And a small number of people, the ones who stepped in before anyone else understood what this was, are living a very different kind of life than the one they had before. The only thing left to decide is whether you're one of them. Reach out today and let's talk about what your National Marketing Exo license or your local Marketing Exo license could look like.